friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video I am bringing you this month's episode of Random Ranking. Now what I do is I sit down with my trusty notebook here that I have all of my eyeshadow palettes written down inside of, and I use my other phone with my random generator app, and I randomly choose 10 palettes out of my collection, and then I rank them for you. Based on how I feel about the palettes, of course, how they perform, the quality, looks that I've created, my experience, I guess that's the same thing, how I feel about them. You know, some of them have like very sentimental value to me. I've been doing these videos for months now, but I just did last month my collection and declutter videos, and I've decluttered over 50 palettes. And so my collection's a lot, well, not a lot, but it's smaller than it was last year, sure. I'm just kind of struggling with exactly how to do this because I don't want to continue to rank the same palettes. You know what I mean? Like every episode, I want the palettes to be unique from each episode, you know? And lots of times I will generate the same exact palettes I pulled from, or that I pulled into the last episode. So I don't know. I just want this to be fun, right? And I know that not everybody loves ranking videos. Some people get really irritated by ranking videos, but this is just for fun. And for those of you that really love ranking videos, because there's a lot of us that love it, man. Okay, so 1 to 199, generate. 186, okay, let's see what that is. 186, that is the Blairdale Midnight Haze palette. Blairdale MUA Cosmetics Midnight Haze palette. I love it. Okay, second palette, 85, okay? 85 is the Ladybug Glow Pond Lily palette. Love. Okay, third palette, 33. That is the Blend Bunny Lure palette. Ooh, you guys, this is going to be tough. Tough. Fourth palette, 15. That is the, Beauty Bay Book of Magic. Fifth palette, 185. 185. That is the Blairdale MUA Hunter and the Prey palette. Sixth palette, 131. The soooo Beauty Magic and Ecstasy palette, okay. Seventh palette, right? Pretty sure. 188. Okay. That is the Odin's Eye Sea Talk palette, okay. Am I on the 8th palette, right? Hold on, why can't I remember stuff? 8th palette. 188, did I just do that? Come on, man, this is where I get really irritated. Yeah. Just did it. 173. Cosmic Brushes Undergrowth. You guys, this might be the toughest episode yet. 9th palette. 24. BH Orange Sorbet. And then the 10th palette, last one, 163. I mean, it's going to get more difficult that my collection's smaller because I got rid of palettes I wasn't a huge fan of, you know? 163. Whoops. Oh, I haven't used it. It's the Fantasy Cosmetica Warlock palette. That's part of the rules. If I haven't used it, I can't rank it. So one more time. Hold on. 67. Okay. Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. Gah. My brain is melting. Okay. I'm going to go round up these palettes, and I'm going to do my very best to rank them for you cohesively and make sense and not cry and smoke not come out of my ears. Okay, I ranked them. Hi, Reggie. Reggie is in big trouble this morning because he was really naughty to Bitsy earlier, and I do not like that. So he's in here, but he's in timeout. Okay, so I've ranked him. Did I say that? Yeah. This was not easy, okay? Like the top 5, I was like, brain bender, but I did it. Again, this is just for fun, okay? Don't anybody take this personally. This is just for fun. Okay, So I don't dislike any of these palettes. The palettes I disliked, I got rid of. I mean, I didn't dislike them. They just weren't jiving with me anymore. Okay. So I do like all these palettes. It's just like I mentioned at the very beginning, I have feelings about them. They've performed differently, the color story. Okay. So in the 10th spot, I put the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop Orange Sorbet. Now, did I say that right? BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop Orange Sorbet. The reason why this is in the 10th rank spot is just it's monochromatic, which I love monochromatic palettes. Okay, I love. But I don't know. Some of these pull almost pink on me, which it's not the palette's fault. That's my fault, I guess. Of course, like my skin tone or I don't know. Out of all the Sweet Shop palettes I have, this one and the cherry on top are just my least favorites. And, you know, honestly, I really haven't spent a lot of time playing with this, and I really need to do that. You know, that's one of the reasons why I did my declutter, was to get rid of stuff and really like invest my heart and soul and time and energy, blood, sweat, and tears into the palettes that are still here. And so, you know, if I use this more, I think this would be a great companion palette, which I have done that before. And I've done like the palette bingos where I select one shade out of each palette. I've done that twice with the Sweet Shops. That's really fun. But in its own right, I haven't really spent a whole lot of time with this palette. So when I do, maybe this will rank higher next time. I don't know. That's why it's lowest. Then in 9th spot, this was a little tricky too. I put the Odin's Eye Sea Talk palette. Now this was a gift from Jen Beauty. And I do love this palette. I've only played with it one time. And it was beautiful. I think what I wish was different about this palette though, well, I don't know, maybe not. It's kind of a little bit of a disjointed color story for me, you know? And when I look at palettes like this, all I can see are monochromatic look options, which, fine, love monochromatic looks, do them all the time. This is kind of monochromatic today too. My look I have on, this is the Indigo Dreams from Poppy and Fluff Cosmetics. Love. But this year, this is the year where I really do want to challenge myself to take palettes like this and do something very different with it. I like the formulation, really pretty. Just used it once, and so don't have a ton of experience, and the color story makes me kind of go, huh, but it's beautiful. Okay, number 8 is the soooo Beauty Magic and Ecstasy palette. I think this is a really cool palette. We've got the mattes and this, and then, you know, these are in that mattes, and then we have pressed glitters here, and they work beautifully. And I've had a lot of fun playing with this palette, primarily with this pressed glitter, but I have used a couple of the other ones too. And I know I've said this so many freaking times, you guys are so sick of hearing me say it. I've got to do a video where I'm using a pressed glitter. I will be doing that soon. I think I will use this. Maybe, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Next week's Throwback Thursday, or this coming week's, I'm using this palette, okay? I'm going to put it on my desk and I'm using it. I love it. I think the mattes are super richly pigmented. They're amazing. But, you know, this just doesn't get a whole lot of love because, you know, I'm going to be honest, I don't love pressed glitters, but I don't hate them either. You know, they're just not, I don't always gravitate towards them. Number 7 is the Mercury Retrograde from Huda Beauty. This was a gift from DW. And the only reason why this is ranked where it is because I've only used it the one time. But isn't this freaking stunning? Oh, I think this is such a beautiful color story. And the shades I've used out of it so far are amazeballs. Amazeballs, I tell you. I just don't have a ton of experience with it yet. So, but I can't wait to play with it again. And I was so thrilled that DW gifted this to me because, like, I've been whining my little face off about it. I didn't get the Mercury Retrograde. It's too expensive. And she's like, I'm going to declutter mine. Do you want it? And I'm like, yes, I do. Okay. Calm, Erica. Calm. Number 6 is the Blairdale MUA Cosmetics Hunter and the Prey palette. I love this color story. It's got the earthy grunginess that I just love, and the formulation is top notch. I panned that freaking shade because I went in like a bull in a china shop, just jumped right into that sucker. Looks like I was out playing like field hockey with it. I wasn't. This was tough for me to rank because I do really love this color story. And I've used this, I think, what, 2 or 3 times now. I really like it. So I don't know. Now I'm like, it's just that, like, the other color stories and my experience with the other palettes, that's yeah. This was not easy. Hardest episode thus far. Next palette in the 5th spot. That was let me see. 10, 9, 8, 7. Yeah, the 5th palette in the 5th spot. Did I say that the Hunter and the Prey was the 5th? That's the 6th. This is the 5th. Jeez. Blairdale MUA Midnight Haze. I've used this twice. Yes, and I love this. This was really hard for me to rank. It's so beautiful. I love the shimmers in here. I love the tones. I think this is a beautifully curated palette. You know, just everything goes well together. You can do a ton of stuff and, you know, just have a lot of fun. And I just love these tones. So I could have ranked this higher, but you know, it's a relatively new palette in my collection, you know, and then, like I said, I've only used it twice. And I just really felt like how I ranked these was the right way to rank them. 4th palette, Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette. This was a palette that was limited edition. It is limited edition, was and is. And I missed it. And a friend sent it to me, unbeknownst to myself, surprised me. And I was just thrilled. And I love this so much. And, you know, I've mentioned this. I mention it every time I show this palette. There were people that did not love the fact that there were some neutrals in here. And in this color story, I do like the neutrals in here. And I do think it's fun for folks who are just starting out with color, but are very intimidated by it, because you have the neutrals to fall back on if you're not super into colorful or you want to try to mix and match and play around. I think this is a great palette to do that with. I love the bold purples, teals, and blues. Oh, definitely like the palette name, Book of Magic, I think is perfect for this color story. And I really love how this palette performs. This is one of my favorite Beauty Bay palettes. Number 3, Blend Bunny, the Lure palette. Okay, I know I say this all the time. You guys, just let me repeat myself, okay? Not that anybody's telling me I can't, but when I edit, I'm like, oh my God, I've said that so many times. I did not realize that this was fish scales on the front, even though it says the mermaid within. I wasn't seeing that. This color story is so gorgeous. I love how this palette is arranged. I love it. It's very pleasing to the eye. Like, it's very aesthetically pleasing because it's arranged by colors, columns. Yes, because this is rose. Yeah. And I really do like the fact that it's really matte heavy. Like, most of these shades are mattes and just this one row of shimmers. And the shimmers are so beautiful and luscious, and the mattes literally blend themselves. I think this color story, I think, is more suited maybe to people who are more experienced with makeup, but the quality and the formulation, I think, is perfect for beginners because it blends, the mattes blend so well. You really can't F up a look blending wise, I don't think, with these mattes. Yeah, love this. Okay, number 2. Should I show you? Yeah, I have to show you. I don't have to. I choose to. Is the Pond Lily from Ladybug Glow. This was not easy for me to rank second because you guys know this is my favorite brand of all time. And I think this color story is delicious. I love the earthy, grungy, but bright, the depth. It's very interesting. You don't see this every day in a palette. Everything works so well in here. And I'm really looking forward to playing with this again soon. I thought about maybe doing like a month where I just use my favorite eyeshadow palettes in my collection. And this will be one of them. But I have a lot of favorites, so that's why I'm like, should I? I don't know. I cannot say enough good things about this brand or this palette. I love it. And I feel weird that it's in the 2nd spot. But I had to put the Cosmic Brushes, Cosmic Beauty, Undergrowth in the number 1 spot. I had to. This is my favorite type of color story. The earthy, grungy greens, browns, light, dark, depth, vampy, ethereal. You know, you have it all right here. And my heart and soul just loves, yearns for these types of color stories. I've always gravitated towards these types of colors. And this, I have this very strange brain thing where when I get a palette like this, I want to keep it pristine. I don't want to use it. I just want to like worship at its altar. But I really want to break that cycle in 2025. And this, I really want to do another multiple looks video with it. I've only done three looks with it total, I think, so far. That is just inexcusable. The formulation of this palette is so good. It's so good. And the shimmers in here are so that luscious, sticky, flippy, all of the things I love in an impeccable shimmer formula. This palette has it. And then the mattes are just awesome. Just awesome. And I love it. I just love this. And I just, you know, I just want to sit down and play and have a good time with it, but keep it just like this. So that's where I struggle, trying to get past it. So that's how I ranked these palettes for this episode, you guys. Of course, that's how I ranked them. I mean, duh. This was the hardest episode. It really was, because I pulled in some really good palettes for this episode. I mean, like I said, I love all my palettes, but some of these I really like. I'm like, oh, they're like, you know, my soul flames. Okay, dramatic, yes. Let me know what you think of the palettes, if you have these in your collection, and let me know what you think of my ranking. Oh, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. I'd love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. But in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.